Welcome to the Insight Podcast. This is the second solo episode of the year. And it's funny how this one came about. At the end of last year, I started writing 3 lessons I'm taking into 2025. I left it alone for a while, and then yesterday picked up my laptop to continue the post. I started writing about the first lesson, the topic for this episode, and ended up writing, I think, over 600 words. So I decided that it needed to be a post on its own. And then today thought, well, there's enough there to make a solo episode. So why not just hit record and put it out there audio as well. So this is one of 3 lessons. And if you want to find out the other 2, send me nice messages and I'll get cracking on those as well. To start with though, here's lesson number 1. Try to change everything at once and you end up changing nothing at all. So pick one thing and take your time. It's funny watching my post from about 6 months ago. I was talking about moving, finding a new job, growing the podcast, training, collaborating on other podcasts, learning the piano, becoming fluent in Italian, starting pottery classes. Okay, maybe not the last 3, but just those first few, I was a little ambitious, wasn't I? Or maybe delusional. After a strange year and feeling a little lost, it seemed like I needed a drastic life overhaul. Something like snapped, and I decided I needed to change every aspect of my life all at once. Then I told everyone about my grand plans and put this weird pressure on myself. And what happened? I froze. I didn't really do anything. I planned, I talked to people, but I didn't make anything happen because with 1,000 different options in front of me, I was overwhelmed. It's kind of like when I go to Sainsbury's and I walk down the cereal aisle, all those options for granola, it's just too much. There were there were hundreds of career paths and travel destinations, hundreds of people I wanted to connect with, hundreds of ideas for the podcast and social media and YouTube and all these things. And my response was to do one of 2 things. 1, look into each option half-heartedly, not really committing. So thinking about YouTube, thinking about where I could travel to, thinking about new careers, but not really diving deeply into them. Or 2, and it's more the second one, it's more this one, distract myself. Like most of us, when I feel stressed, anxious, I just numb the feeling by distracting myself with might be episodes of The US Office I've seen 50 times, Instagram Reels, YouTube, training. So nothing changed. And all of a sudden, 3 months had passed and I'm waking up on Christmas morning wondering what the hell happened. So the lesson from that is take one thing at a time. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to change everything at once. It's pretty hard to work on your career prospects, where you live, and relationship status all at the same time. Focusing on one aspect of your life, I think, is enough. So choose that one thing that you're going to make the one thing. Then make a plan. Break the plan down. Get advice from people who have been through something similar. It's all stuff we know, isn't it? It's all stuff we know from training and exercise and other pursuits, that you focus on one thing, you make a plan, you break it down, you get advice from people. I knew all this, but still, yeah, it all went out the window, and all that happened was I became overwhelmed and I froze. So looking back now, I probably should have just kept my teaching contract. I could have worked on other projects and looked for other jobs while having that safety net. But then, as I say that, as I wrote this down yesterday, I think back to how miserable and kind of wound up I was every day that I was in the school. And so maybe not. Maybe that wasn't the thing that I should have done. I don't know. I've made the last few months work. I've done supply teaching. I've cut back on a few things. I haven't travelled at all. I've dipped into some savings, which I know is a really privileged position that other people don't have those options. And now, fast forward to the end of January, I have some regular work at a school that I like, and that's paying the bills, but it's giving me lots of flexibility and lots of time. And plus, there are a couple of exciting prospects for work that are kind of there right in front of me, and we'll see if those come into fruition in the next month or so. And as for moving or spending time abroad, I just never quite felt that final push to go. I'd think about it, and then I'd kind of look around at my cozy flat. I'd pop into my brother's or my sister's for a coffee and see my nieces and nephews. I'd bump into my mum on the canal when we both happened to be out running. That happened just this Monday, just gone. Do I really want to miss out on that? You know, that having family around, having that community around me. It's like, yeah, that time with friends and family that I'd be giving up. I just don't think it would be, I just don't think it would come close to outweighing any benefits of time away. And I suppose that's another part of this lesson, gratitude, a topic that might well be another solo episode coming up, kind of that balance of gratitude, and also people's response to gratitude and how they can get a little bit, how it can kind of give people the ick. But anyway, future episode. Yeah, gratitude. So after this lesson, thinking about this lesson, but also thinking back that, yes, it was all valid and I'm not wrong for wanting to have a bit of a shake-up of my life. But at the same time, I can be grateful and focus on what really matters. But it's just hard, isn't it? It's hard to strike that balance between being content and appreciating everything that one has, but wanting to also push yourself a little harder, try new things, and for me, satisfy what I think is a slightly above average taste for novelty. You know, always making plans, wanting to try new things, wanting to visit new places, which I know lots of people have got that, but I feel like I maybe have it a little bit more than other people and get itchy feet quite quickly. So I'm going to have to keep experimenting and finding where that sweet spot is. Right, that's it for the second solo episode of 2025. I know that I've got some work to do perhaps in these solo episodes where maybe the structure and the kind of conclusion could be better. I kind of get to the end of it and go, oh, is that it? But anyway, you know, this is all a work in progress. I appreciate people that have reached out to say that they've enjoyed the solo episodes. That really, really means a lot. And just any messages around that, the solo episodes or guest episodes or things I share on social media, any encouragement, honestly, it really means a lot, and it keeps me motivated, because the amount of times I just think, oh, there's no point, I just want to quit, just forget it. And actually, people don't realize how much of an impact just a little message saying I really enjoyed this or this resonated, just how much of an impact it has on me. So thank you. If you have any comments or questions about this topic, you know, not trying to change too many things at once, taking one thing at a time, gratitude, all of that good stuff, let me know. Send me a DM, send me an email, whatever it is. And as always, please support the show by following and rating it on whichever app you're listening on. Right, see you next time.